Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Filmmaking Sucks podcast, where we tell you all of the mistakes that you could possibly make while making a film and how you can avoid them. I am one of your hosts, Manny.
And I'm Lynn.
All right. Welcome to the table.
I added nothing to that. Nothing.
Not a thing. It's all right, though. First things first, I want to let everybody know, I'll let you all know one more time. We will be at the Severed Film Festival in Stroudsburg, New Jersey at the Sherman Theater on May 27th. We'll be there all day. It is a little film festival. They're playing Bio Omega along with a couple other well-known horror films. At the end of the night, there is a short film festival, which we may or may not be involved in. I have not heard back yet from whether or not we're going. We submitted a short film.
Fingers crossed.
Yes. So hopefully we'll be screening there. But we will be there. We will have a table there. We'll have copies of Blood Slaughter Massacre and Attack of the Brain People if we can get them. If we get them from Dina in time, hopefully, if we're still out of those. But we have Blood Slaughter, and who knows? We might have something else on DVD. It's possible. I don't know. It depends if I can finish it between now and then.
Ooh, mysterious.
Yeah, possibly, maybe. I don't know. So don't quote me on that. But either way, we're going to be there, and it's also on top of the film festival and some of the vendors. There is a VHS swap there for the day. So all of you analog fans. Yes, big VHS swap.
All you tape heads,
yes. If you have VHS tapes if you like to buy VHS tapes, you can come and pick them up. Come buy some from all the vendors there. The VHS Museum will be there. They're going to have a nice exhibit. They had an awesome exhibit last year. They'll have another one this year. Horror Boobs, I'm pretty sure, will be in attendance. And
hopefully our co-host.
Yeah, hopefully our co-host Mario will be there. Lunch Meat Magazine is always there, so they should be there as well. Josh is a cool dude. There'll be a couple other people. Last year we got to spend a good portion of the day hanging out with Rob Dimension. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, fortunately for Rob, he moved further south, so I don't think he'll be there unless he decides to make a special appearance because he's been there before. There'll be a couple of awesome indie filmmakers and VHS tape heads there for the day, as well as
I got a ton of Goosebump books and Fear Street books.
Yep, and a lot of collectibles, a lot of old school horror collectibles will be there.
Very cool.
This isn't when you might find a little thing or there from current movies, but we're talking a lot of 70s and 80s memorabilia, and I don't mean just things like I'm talking like I've seen standees from Nightmare on Elm Street 3, like the 6-foot standees of Freddy for sale there.
Yep.
Okay, last year I bought the new release of the Altered States vinyl soundtrack, and that guy had soundtracks from decades ago as well. Was it the Altered States? No, I bought the Gate there. I bought the soundtrack of the Gate there, which was awesome, and he had some other awesome Gate posters. So
I almost got a Goosebumps lunchbox.
Yep.
That was cool.
Just to add to our recent episode on conventions, if you're a filmmaker, come out for the day and hang out.
Yep.
And if you can't be there that same weekend, that same weekend, very close by, is also the First Contact Film Festival. That is on Saturday and Sunday in Lake Hopatcong. Hopatcong. I always, whatever, you Jersey people. Lake Hopatcong.
New Yorkers who call Houston, Houston.
It is Houston.
Yeah.
Houston would be H-U. Okay, it's not Houston. It's Houston. Houston would be H-U, not H-O. Sorry, people. Texans, English people, English. It's Houston. Anyway, you don't say I'm going to my house. No, I'm going to my house. I'm going to the house. Going inside the house, not inside the house. But anyway, yes, at Camp Jefferson is the film festival. The First Contact Film Festival run by our friend Mark Boutros. We are screening there on Sunday as part of the festival. Theta States will be playing at 2:40. A couple other people whose films, off the top of my head, are playing. Justin Morales is playing. His movie is Wrath of the Blood Angel will be there. So we'll be playing Saturday and Sunday. Scott Perry's movie, one of the episodes of In Fear of, Scott Perry's sees Scott Perry's show Off the Top of Phobia. I think it's that episode. Off the top of my head, I can't think of the name. I'm sorry, Scott. But one of his episodes of In Fear of will be screening there right before us as well. Right before us, I might add. So that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, I don't think Scott's not going to be there. He's on vacation that week. His first vacation in years.
Well, I guess he gets one in a couple of years.
Yeah, so he unfortunately will not be there, but I believe the director of that episode will be there because the director is the one who submitted it. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be there. There's 15 or so films playing in total for the weekend. So you can buy those tickets on filmfreeway.com. You can go to First Contact on Facebook and get the tickets. They're $10 per day or $15 for the weekend. Same thing goes for Severed at the Sherman Theater. Severed is Saturday, May 27th. Tickets also, I think, are $10 for the day. We'll be there all day. And then we're heading over to Camp Jefferson for Sunday, May 28th for First Contact. So you can catch us at both of those shows if you're in the New York, New Jersey, weekend. Pennsylvania area. Yes, you can catch us at both of those shows. So, business out of the way. Done. Next order is today's subject.
It's kind of a continuation from last week and a little bit related to
I don't know if it's last week. What order are we airing these in?
I don't know. That's your job.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know.
You said last week before we started recording.
I said one of our previous episodes. I was not very specific.
Okay, one of our previous episodes, continuation on
the conventions episode.
The conventions episode. Where we kind of talked about getting involved in film festivals that are local to you. I kind of wanted to bring on we actually attended an event recently that was kind of hosted at the NYU Tisch School of Arts. Tisch. Which was called, it was hosted. Oh my God,
you don't remember the name of it already?
I remember it. It was hosted by the NYC Women Filmmakers. And this particular one was called Working Above the Micro Budget Level. Which
was really cool. We heard that and we were like, all right, we got to get there. We got to be there. We're going to be there. Be there.
Yeah. And it was super awesome. As any female filmmakers that are listening and in the New York City area, definitely I would check them out. It was free for me as a female filmmaker. And I think it was a minimal donation from you.
Yeah, it was a $5 or $10 donation for me since I don't have a vagine.
Not everyone can be perfect.
Yes. I wasn't blessed with a vagine.
So it was wow, where did this already go?
I'm just gonna mute my mic.
So the two women who were running this, they screened their movies. Unfortunately, I didn't make it because I have a day job.
You have a day job.
But we made it.
I didn't make it either because I was waiting for you to get out of your day job.
Wow, you were just full of things today. Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
So the two women that were giving the talk were Naomi McDougall Jones. I'm sorry if I'm killing names, and Sarah Wharton. Naomi actually has an amazing podcast called Fearfulness.
Okay. Fearfulness.
So it's word. Fear, parentheses, FUL, parentheses, less.
Gotcha.
So really great. They are what I would call the next level above.
From us, yes. They're a level up of us.
I mean, obviously, because they're breaking through this micro budget.
Mm-hmm. Can we somehow... All right, there's no specific parameters, but a low-budget film is considered $1 million and under.
Yes.
Micro budget is, I think, like $200,000 or $300,000 and under.
I believe so.
If you're working in where we're working in, which is the $10,000 to $50,000, most would consider that no budget.
Yeah.
Okay. There's some people who've done even less than that. We know people who've made feature films for $2,000 or $3,000. It's still no budget.
Yeah.
Okay. When they say no budget, it's generally.
I hate the term personally.
I hate the term. I hate it because there is a budget. We are putting money into it, But the truth is, a lot of the no budget filmmakers, what's defining them as no budget is, number one, there's probably a number of people who are working on the film for free.
Yeah.
Okay, because they just can't afford to pay them. All right, and number two, you're not a lot of the films. They're not actually keeping track of what they're spending because they're literally taking this out of their pocket.
Yeah.
You know, they get paid they work their full-time job. They get paid for the week, and they take $50 out of their paycheck
here and there,
and they go buy a wig for one of their actors, or you know, they go get another palette of makeup that they're going to shoot with for this weekend. You know, it's very hard to keep track of your budget when you're paying for the film as you go along.
Yeah.
So that's generally the two ways of defining no budget. Some people just cannot be paid. I'm not saying everybody. Sometimes it is everybody. But you don't have the budget to pay certain people, and you're literally paying for this out of your pocket. You know, you're not keeping track of the budget because you're paying for it as you have it. And hey, that happens. It happens. There's nothing wrong with it. So
No. Even both Naomi and Sarah, who were on this panel, they were actually working together on a movie.
Yeah. Sarah made her first film. She said it was $10,000. Her first film, and they guerrilled it, and they had lots of their actor friends who just did it. You know,
and Naomi's, I think she said hers was $80,000.
Yeah. For her first feature, which is micro budget.
Yep, still considered micro budget. Sorry to break your hearts, people. You know, both of them, I think, actually got on Netflix.
Well, I mean, technically, it's still no budget, but it's micro budget. It's a fuzzy line.
Yeah,
it's a fuzzy line. I'm going to say micro budget is under 50.
Yeah,
that's no budget.
No budget.
No budget would technically be under 50,000.
So one was no budget, one was micro budget.
Yeah.
Yay.
Anyway.
So what was so we happened to stumble. I remember how we stumbled across this event, probably on Twitter or Facebook or something.
Yeah, I found it somehow. I don't remember.
And so we signed up via Eventbrite and got down to this thing, and it was
it's a good way of finding things too. Going through Eventbrite.
I was going to say I literally after this event went to Eventbrite and just literally they have a whole film and video section. And I went through and I clicked on a bunch of local events that are happening with us that were of interest. And like I said, this was a free event. It was, you know, I think we were about 3 hours. This talk was.
It started at 6 was the movies, and then 7 was the talk. Yeah, we got out of there almost 10 o'clock.
Almost 10 o'clock.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
So
essentially, these two amazing women filmmakers, which I love, they have not yet made their movie. They have gone through a very extensive... Their new movie. The one that broke them out of the micro-budget barrier. They went through a very extensive 2-year pre-production process where Naomi had a script that she got to a producer, and the producer sent her a couple of notes, and she incorporated the notes, and they did a couple of revisions back and forth, her and this producer. So after getting their script together, they attempted to pull together I'm going to go through my notes. So if it's a little not as smooth as our typical show, I do apologize.
What we're going to do today is we're going to go down a lot of the stuff that they talked about. Some of this information is new to us. Some of it was not, but it's all something that we feel that everybody needs to know. And hopefully they're listening to the show. So thank you guys for doing an amazing talk. This is really cool. It was nice to see 70, 80 women in one room.
It was amazing. It blew my mind that there were actually 70 or 80 women that were looking to take this next step. And, you know, I hate to be super political, but you know what? Fuck it. It's my show. There's a lot of talk right now about women filmmakers, women struggling to get into the Hollywood, us not being hired at the same numbers and the same rates, being afforded the same opportunities, and all of it is freaking true.
It's true in every field.
But it's true in every field.
It's true in every field. It has to be said. It's true everywhere you go.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry.
No, it's fine because you're cheering for us. But you know, I think there's been a lot of people in Hollywood that have dared to say that women do not want to make movies, do not want to direct movies, do not want to direct movies at a higher level. When 70 or 80 women show up at one event on a Friday night in the middle of New York City on a beautiful 70-degree day.
It's a beautiful day.
We're hungry and we want to do this, and we are going to help one another do this.
I was hungry, but that's because I hadn't eaten.
I fed you beforehand. Don't even lie. I did.
Afterwards.
No, before.
Before you got off work and we went right inside.
No, we went to the fresh place, remember? Then we went to the thing.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's right. I fed you. Right? I'm a good producer. I feed you, okay?
I was still hungry.
Well, it's not my fault that you didn't order enough. Anyway, So yeah, it was really great to be in a room of 70, 80 women. And I mean, it wasn't just young women. There were a fair amount of older women that were looking to get into this. It was just really an amazing time.
It was a broad spectrum.
Yeah.
It was a broad spectrum of people. It wasn't just young film students. It was, yes, there was older people there.
Yeah.
There was women in their 40s, 50s, 60s who were trying to get into filmmaking. So it's never too late.
No.
It's never, never, never too late.
No, which, by the way, I want to give a shout out to Carol, who we met at the Macabre Fair Film Festival. More people that you meet when you go to these things.
Carol Ritter Conley?
Yes. She was how old?
It was her 60th birthday.
For her 60th birthday, she decided the present she was going to give herself was she was going to make her first movie ever. Mm-hmm. She had worked in the film industry in the local film office most of her life and never made a movie. And so for her 60th birthday, she pulled together this mind-bending,
twisted,
disturbing, demented, almost
drama horror.
That really blew a lot of people, including us.
What was the name of it?
Oh God.
Oh geez. Oh man, that's gonna kill me now. Figure out the name. We'll let you guys know.
Yeah, we'll let you know. Put it in the show notes.
Yeah.
Like we have show notes. I don't even know if we do.
We have show notes.
I'm just making promises I can't deliver. But yeah, amazing lady, amazing filmmaker. It's never too late to just dive on in and just do it and dump the fear and just go for it and chase your dreams and hooray. Are you looking this up? Should I just?
Yes. No, go ahead.
Okay. So anyway, this event had a, broad spectrum of different kinds of women, which was incredible. And these two women, were sharing their what they've been going through over the last 2 years to get a movie up and running, through pre-production to the point of production, at a higher than micro budget level.
Mm-hmm. Penitence.
There you go. That's Carol's
Carol Ritter
movie.
Conley's movie is named Penitence, and it's winning awards everywhere it goes.
Mm-hmm.
So, sorry.
And
Continue.
much love to Carol too. Yes. I know that she's had some medical issues, and we're hoping that she gets back on her feet and back to filming as soon as possible. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So, what I really found amazing about this talk is that they really show the power of pre-production and what it takes to actually professionally do a professional round of pre-production. Mm-hmm. Like I said, Naomi had gone through 3 or 4 different script revisions with what essentially was an associate producer acting as an executive producer. Mm-hmm. Where he was giving notes, he was giving insight, he was giving a lot of support and hearing out of tough decisions. Mm-hmm. So once they got the script to a point where they felt it was ready to go into pre-production, they reached out to a team. This is the first term that I learned, a co-production. Mm-hmm. A co-production is when America, we are not supportive of artists.
No, we're not. We're absolutely not. This country is not supportive of artists at all.
In America, artists are bums.
Fuck you,
yeah, bum.
Survival of the fittest.
Get a job.
Survival of the fittest as long as you have a dick.
Get a real job.
As long as you don't have a vagine.
Oh my God.
Survival of the fittest.
Whoa, bro.
It's true.
Whoa.
It's true.
Whoa, get a job, you dirty hippie.
Yeah, right? It's true. It's true though. If you're an artist and a woman, no, we have no interest in you.
No.
That's really how it is in this country.
Go make some ceramic objects and sell them at the local.
Go make me a sandwich in a ceramic plate that you smelt yourself. You don't smelt ceramic, but whatever.
So, but other countries do. They like their artists and they like to give them money to make art.
There's a number of countries that will pay you to shoot in their film in their country. There is a number of countries that will actually pay up to some countries 80% of your budget can be covered by the country's government just for bringing your production to their country. Every country they have there's like 20 I think there's 20 or so countries that will supplement your budget. There are rules. You have to hire locally. You have to, there's a lot of things
It's very similar to our tax incentive program out here in America, which you'll hear, I'm sure, if you ever listen to any other podcast or read anything film related, everybody's talking about film incentives and how the different states are competing against one another by offering different tax incentives. Tax incentives are not money, but they are, discounts that you get off your taxes.
Yes.
So, back to the co-location and how it relates to this. Co-production. Sorry. So co-production is when there's two countries. One of them was a U.S./British dual citizen, and she had connected with a Canadian production company. Both of these countries will actually finance some part of a artist's work. So by joining forces, they were hoping to use both countries' resources together to fund a fair amount of this project. Not something I'd ever thought of because I grew up in America.
Yeah, so you didn't realize that other countries are actually that supportive of it. So the fact that they were so if they were trying to do it in America at all, they were not going to be allowed to do the co-production.
No.
You know what? There's probably some level of money that your budget needs to be in order to get that done. Because I can guarantee you Hollywood is using that in some form or another, because there's plenty of movies that are shot here in America and England and Brazil and and Japan. So I guarantee if you're at that, $20 to $100 million level, they're going to make an exception for you.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I also think these are two women filmmakers, and there were probably various kinds of grants that they could have looked into.
They did say that too.
Yeah.
They did say that the fact that they were women, they felt that a lot of doors were closed on them. Simply the fact that it was two women. But the fact that they were two women also opened up other doors to them. You know, but they did feel that kind of push. The fact that it was two women making these phone calls.
Oh man, we're making a feminist episode.
No, we're not. This is what the conversation was.
Yeah,
this is what the conversation was.
True.
But whatever. Get to the actual
information. Then we'll talk about female filmmaking, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Later on, I'll let you know how I feel about that. Anyway, unfortunately, their co-production did not work. It just fell through at the last very moment.
And that happens a lot.
That happens a lot.
Remember that. What is it? It's something like 10 out of every 100 films that are proposed in Hollywood actually go into production, and 2 of them are completed. So you're talking 2% of all films that are pitched or brought to a studio level where where an executive will consider it. 2% are ever completed. Right. And it's literally like less than half of that will actually be released.
Or released.
Yeah.
So the ones that are greenlit.
Well, no, I'm saying 10% will be greenlit.
All right.
10% of them will actually be greenlit. Maybe 10% of those will be made.
Yeah.
And 1 to 5% of those will be released.
Right.
So there are hundreds of movies every year made that never go anywhere, and they end up coming out years later on a quiet DVD release to bargain shelves because the company didn't want it, or they didn't like it, they couldn't find a way to market it, so they sell it off to a smaller company for the budget, and the smaller company will then sell it at their bargain place where they know they can bundle it with a bunch of other DVDs to sell it easily.
Right.
So if this is Hollywood with hundreds of $1 million, this is happening you at an indie level. If your film didn't come together, don't worry.
It's not just you.
It's not the end of the world.
It's not just you.
Yes, it's not just you. Hollywood does it too. So
it happens on all levels.
Yes.
So after their co-production,
very fickle business.
It's very fickle. After the co-production fell through, they had no choice but to go through the investors model. And one of the things, which I think we're probably going to wind up doing an episode, because I think I actually want to take a shot at one of these, is creating a lookbook.
That would more be my thing, to create the lookbook.
Right.
Lookbook is, go ahead, explain what a lookbook is.
A lookbook is pretty much what you're presenting to your, I'm looking for my note, but what you present to your investors. It has information about the director, the producer, anybody who's attached to the film. It has a number of has a budget, It has a financial plan. It has literally charts and graphs that explain a marketing plan. It has charts and graphs that explain that you probably will not get your money back and that this many films, get their money back. But don't expect, you're not showing your investors the Blair Witch Project. As much as you all want to, and we all do in the beginning, Blair Witch is not what you put in your lookbook.
A big part of the lookbook, too, is the literal look of the movie. Okay. Literally the look of the film. Like you giving them images that either you've shot or you want to compare to what the film is going to look like, who is and how that relates to the demographic you're shooting for. What type of movie are you going to make? And you're literally showing them this on paper.
Right.
You're taking your entire film from beginning to end, showing it to them on paper from pictures and graphs and contracts and numbers. The lookbook goes to multiple different people. The producers want the numbers.
Yeah.
And then we're talking executive producers.
Yeah.
Executive producers, people with money, they want numbers. Producers want numbers and images. They want to see because they're somewhat involved. They become involved in the creative aspects of the film.
Right.
So they have to know if this is even something that they're even interested. Like, would I even watch this movie? Would I be looking at this? Okay. And not only that, like, okay, this is what you want. Can you shoot this? Can your cinematographer make your film look like Dead Silence? Can you get that blue and white washed out look consistently throughout the whole film?
Okay.
Can your cinematographer do this? Right. This is what we're looking for, and this is what the cinematographer does. So these are things that are in the lookbook as well. Okay. That's also why we're looking at the book, we're looking at the pictures, we're looking at everything.
So yeah, I'm sure we'll do a much more thorough episode on that once we actually do one.
Create one. Yes. Yeah. Your scripts will be in there, all the people involved. It's every bit of information about the film before you even made it.
Yes.
Yes.
So this is when our worlds changed during this talk.
Oh.
And we learned 2 new magical words.
Oh, yeah.
Development funds.
I've heard these before. I've heard it before, but I've always looked at it like, well, that's something that Hollywood does.
Yeah.
This is a Hollywood thing, development funds. Go ahead.
Okay. Development funds are money giving at a contract signing that you can spend right away. Yeah. So essentially, you're going to bring your investors on, and the earliest investors, which are going to be the people that we talked about in the past, your foundation, people who are following you, the people who are going to give you the money, who are literally giving it to you to support you.
In my opinion. I think now a lot of the people on this, probably listening to this show, they all consider crowdfunding. And I hope to God you all listen to our crowdfunding episode. So if you didn't, please don't stop right now, but go back and listen to our crowdfunding episode. This right here is a bit of an aside to that. I think that if you're going to crowdfund and you want to make, let's say you want to make something above $50,000, you want to get $200,000 for a movie. Crowdfunding is not the way to go if you don't have some serious weight behind your campaign.
Which we'll get into, because this was eye-opening.
If you don't have that actor name or that director or someone who has weight with producers, where when you're going to tell somebody, I want money for a movie, well, who's in it and who's working on it? And you drop that name, they go, I'll pay for him. I'll make this movie because he's involved.
Yeah.
If you don't have someone like that for the film, unless you have a serious following, and I mean serious, you have to work for this.
Yeah.
Don't crowdfund for $200,000. Don't bother. Just don't do it. You're not going to get it. And honestly, if that's the type of movie you want to make at $300,000, don't make it right now. Make something else.
Yeah.
Either find a way to scale that script down, or make another script and do that $10,000, $20,000 feature film.
Yep.
Do it that way. So to get to this, let's pick number, say 500,000 to get an even number.
Yeah.
All right. Let's use that as our example for the rest of the episode.
Right.
Let's say we're talking a $500,000 film. All right. You're going to need what you said is development funds. I believe that's what you should crowdfund. Crowdfund your development
funds.
Because your fan base, who you've developed over those couple years, will be the ones who can help you with that.
Yes.
And the development funds are, what's the percentage approximately?
I think they said 5 to 10.
Yeah, 5 to 10%. So out of $500,000 movie, you're going to look for
25 to 50.
Okay, there you go. 25 to 50,000 for your crowdfunding, and this is your development. This is your pre-production cost.
And what you do with your development funds is you put 3 things in place: your creative team, your cast, and then your investors.
Yes.
And your development funds are going to get you through securing all of those things. So when you bring on...
Where would you spend this money?
Well, very smartly, what these 2 amazingly intelligent women did is they took a little percentage for themselves to keep themselves afloat. They lived on this.
They lived on it for the next 9 months.
So they could put their full attention to this and this alone.
Now that kind of sounds weird. Wait a minute. I'm going to crowdfund some money so I can live on it?
Yes.
Yes. If you're going to make a $500,000 movie, you are not working a 40-hour week job at the same time.
It's not happening.
It's not going to happen.
No.
I've said this to plenty of people before. You can't be an architect if you're working at the grocery store 40, 50 hours a week. You cannot. How are you going to work as an architect if you're bouncing at the bar for 30 hours a week?
Yeah.
You just can't.
No.
You know, a plumber cannot be a professional plumber if he owns a grocery store.
Right.
You can't do it. So if you want to be a filmmaker, you need to be a filmmaker. And if you're going to make a $500,000 movie, you want to spend $500,000, $500,000
Yeah.
on a movie. This better be your full-time
life.
job.
This better be your life. You better eat it, sleep it, drink it.
Yes, because you are going to have some very angry people who just gave you $500,000 to spend to make a movie. And if you're disappearing...
If you're not answering that phone because you're at work...
Yes, not happening. You are not getting the money. So that's the basis. This is where we're starting at here. If you're not you're not ready to make that step and make that level where you're leaving your job to make this movie, maybe this isn't the episode for you.
Yeah.
You know, listen anyway, because one day you're going to be there.
Yeah.
And you're going to need that validation.
And this is going to get a little scary. And this was eye-opening and awakening for the 2 of us, which is why we decided to share it with you.
Yes.
But it's going to get scary. It's going to get big. It's going to get real big.
Let's
and
get
your chest is going to hurt a little bit. You're going to try and catch your breath.
Stomach, you had a frog in your throat a couple of times just thinking about it.
I did.
Thinking about it. The fact that we want to do a series and I'm talking about a $300,000 budget. So we are looking to get to this level in the next year or 2.
Yes.
Which is why we're going to discuss this. Maybe even air out some of our own problems with each other right now.
Uh-oh.
I don't know.
Whoa.
I don't have any problems. You do.
My problem.
Continue. Not that kind of problems. Jesus Christ.
Anyway.
So yes, they took some of those development funds.
So development funds.
Paid their bills.
They paid their bills for themselves. So they figured out what they could live on and live with, and they gave it to themselves. But the main thing that they did, number 1, is hire a lawyer. I'm sorry, what?
First thing, hire a lawyer.
You hired a lawyer? How is this helping your development?
And then later on, you're going to hire an accountant. Oh.
How is this helping your development, you may ask? Well, all of these agreements that you're getting for these development funds, the contracts have to be written by someone.
Yep. This is why I say to crowdfund this. Yes. There's less contracts going into the development fund.
Yes.
Now, they went to somebody who they knew was willing to invest in their film, and they got their development fund with it. This person who was willing to give them the money to start the film, knowing there's a good chance they're never getting the money back, but they just wanted to... Well,
here's the thing about development funds, and this is what I wanted to explain too. When you get into an agreement for development funds, there's 2 options that you can offer your investors.
I'm sure there's other options, but these are the 2 main.
These are the 2 ones that they spoke about. One of them is in the contract for these development funds is the agreement can say that you have to pay them back immediately. Yeah. So as you're using these production funds and you're bringing on other investors, before you go into production, you may have to pay back these development funds.
Yes. Out of the money you're getting from other investors.
Out of the money that you're getting from other investors for the production itself.
Yes.
The other option is a rolled development funds, which essentially is these development funds are going to roll into the production budget. And with that,
so what we're saying here is you're going to make a $500,000 movie is what you're saying. We're going to make a $500,000 movie. You're going to get $50,000 of development funds. All right. Now let's say you get this from an investor.
Right.
All
A
right?
singular one to make it easy.
A singular. Okay. Let's say this.
Actually, let's make it two. Let's make it two $25,000 ones.
Okay, fine. Two $25,000 films. So now now my budget, I have the first 10% of my budget. Okay. I go to other investors and now I'm telling them I need $450,000 to make the rest of the film.
Sometimes yes and sometimes no. It depends on this agreement.
That's what I want to know.
But yeah, for the most part, sometimes what you're asking, you're actually going to be asking for $550,000.
Gotcha. So your budget just went up by $50,000.
It just went up by $50,000
for the second investors, which means you're technically you're technically getting $600,000 because you got to get the first $50,000, then you got to get the $500,000 to make it plus $50,000 to give back to them.
Give back to them.
So you're actually having to raise $600,000.
Yes.
This just got really difficult.
Yeah, this just got scary.
This is why we need a lawyer. I need a lawyer to figure this out. I need an accountant to make sure.
Figure this all out.
Get me an accountant someday.
So say we have two investors, one to $25,000.
Pat, I'm hiring you. Pat.
one did $25,000 and the other one did $2,000. One of them chooses to be paid back immediately.
Okay, so
I'm willing to give you my 25, but I don't want to take the risk of this movie going into production.
So as soon as I get my money from somebody else, I got to pay them back now.
Yes, you do.
Shit.
Right?
All right.
So that's scary, but this is going to get even a little scarier. The other investor says, "Oh, you know what? You got us this far. I have faith in you. I'm going to roll in my development funds."
All right.
So essentially, you have to give back the $50,000, and that $50,000 goes back into these production funds. Now that $25,000.
Yes.
That $25,000 gets a special little asterisk next to it. And that asterisk says...
So wait a minute. So now we're back at... So now do we have to raise this when we go to the investors? That $25,000 goes into the budget itself. So now I don't have to raise that $25,000 anymore. We're okay. All right.
Yeah.
So we're good on that. We don't have to raise it anymore. It's now going into the budget of the film.
It's going into the budget of the film.
All right.
With an asterisk.
All right.
And that asterisk says there's a 20% upside.
So, okay, so they want $35,000 back?
Yes.
And when do I pay them back?
When the movie starts to make money, essentially, it all comes from the contract.
You mean, well...
As you pay your investors back, once the movie starts to make money, you start to cut checks.
Well, wait a minute now. That's not entirely true. When the movie starts to make money, as in profit...
It depends on your agreement.
Okay, so that's negotiable.
It's negotiable.
So that's negotiable.
Yeah.
But chances are, and they did discuss this, some of these investors get paid before anybody else. And that's generally your development fund people.
Yes.
They were the first to get money in,
yes.
So they're the first to get it back.
Yes.
So even before the movie starts making money, as soon as money starts coming in, they get paid out of gross.
Yeah.
And they are officially an above-the-line expense.
Yes.
Okay. So once I start selling tickets for the first screenings, that money goes directly to this person, no questions asked. They get it first.
Yeah.
And the other investors now, how am I going to convince them to let me pay somebody else first?
You're going to need to build up your film's credibility, your street cred.
Huh.
How do you do that?
How do I do that?
That's where you're cast.
I'm going to play the dumb idiot here. If you haven't noticed, I'm going to play the guy.
I'm going to try and do this myself. Yeah. I'm hoping that I can.
I'm going to play the guy who doesn't know what he's doing here.
So,
because I don't.
You're going to do that with your director, your producer, and your cast.
So you're telling me I need names.
You need names.
So this is why everybody wants names in their movies.
Yes.
This is why they need actors of an A or B list who can sell. This is why they worry about a certain actors who's hot right now.
That's why they have stars and ratings on IMDb, and that's why there's a hot IMDb top 100 list.
So you know who to hire if you're trying to find. I got it now.
Yes.
That makes sense. This sucks. So
Now-
you're telling me that going to the convention and, picking up that actor who's been at the last 7 conventions who hasn't made a movie over $15,000 in the last 8 years is not somebody who's going to help my $500,000 film.
No.
It's not going to help me with investors.
No. He's going to be beloved amongst the fans, maybe.
But the investors
are not going to be
doesn't
impressed.
care.
No.
All right. So you're telling me I got to get Taye Diggs.
Sure. Yes.
You don't know who Taye Diggs is?
Yes, I am.
You're not sure who Taye Diggs is?
No, I have no idea.
Oh, okay. All right. So, all right.
Was he in Equilibrium?
Yes, he was in Equilibrium. There you go. He was the angry guy who.
That's who I thought he was.
Yes, he was the angry.
So yeah,
partner.
you definitely have to get him.
You need Taye Diggs.
I need Taye Diggs.
Stop it.
So yeah, but now here's the problem. How are you going to get those big names? Because if you're sending emails to them, they're not responding.
Well, why wouldn't they respond to me?
Who are you? How many stars do you have on IMDb? What's your ranking?
I'm at like 120,000.
That's nothing.
No, I'm like 600,000. That's not even true.
So your street cred is what?
600,000 negative.
So that means we're going to have to find somebody who can help us with this, which means a casting agent.
So I got to hire a casting agent.
You got to hire a casting agent now.
I've hired 3 people and I haven't done anything yet. I've hired a lawyer, I've hired an accountant, and now I'm hiring a casting agent so that to tell the lawyer and the accountant who I'm paying for.
Exactly.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Who is this casting agent going to call for me? So what is a casting agent going to do for me? What that I can't do?
Because here's the thing. The casting agent is magic.
Really?
Magic.
They went to Hogwarts?
They went to Hogwarts.
All right.
They're going to pull some amazing spells out, and they're going to start reaching out to people, and people are going to respond.
Why would they respond?
Because your casting agent has street cred. They are verified. You know that little green check mark everybody has on their little accounts?
but all right, there's something you're missing there. They're not. See, here's the thing about the casting agent. The casting agent has street cred with other agents.
With other agents, yes.
That's
okay,
what
you're
it
right.
is.
Okay,
Yes.
so
I
you're
was trying to lead you to that.
you weren't being clear. So your casting agent has friends.
Yes. Okay.
Let's start there. Your casting agent has friends. They've been to a couple of parties. They did a little elbow rubby rub, and they have some friends and they have some relationships and they have some history. So now they know who to call.
Yes, and how to get in touch with
and
Taye Diggs.
how to get in touch with
They
Taye
know
Diggs.
Taye Diggs' agent.
Yeah.
They know the person who books Taye Diggs. Gotcha.
Yeah, there's even a chance that your casting agent happened to run across Taye Diggs at some party, at some movie that maybe they cast for, and their people.
How do I find that casting
their
agent?
people. That's. You can look on
Stroke of
IMDb
luck.
Pro. IMDb Pro.
Oh, so that's what I'm paying for.
That's what you're paying for. You can actually search people, find their representation
on IMDb Pro.
on IMDb Pro.
That's what I'm paying every month for.
It's not just for your poster. It's not just for your poster image.
Posters are free now.
Are they really?
Yes, posters on IMDb for your film are free now as long as you have an IMDb Pro account.
No.
Your posters you can upload.
Is my profile picture yet free?
No, you have to pay for your profile picture. You have to have a pro account.
No.
But it used to be on IMDb Pro, you didn't even have to have a pro account. In order to get your movie on, like you had a movie listed on IMDb, to put the poster up there, you had to pay for the poster. If you already have a pro account, you can put a poster out there. So that 1 or 2 of you out there who actually have an IMDb Pro account, call all of your friends right now and make friends. Do them all a favor right now.
Give them something.
Give them something. You're paying for this account. Call your friends out there who all have their films on IMDb but don't have a poster. Tell them, send me your poster and I will upload it onto your page I'll do it for you myself. I'm paying for it. I'll do it. Do them a favor.
Yep.
And they'll be so happy
Yep.
because they all have to pay $30. They literally have to pay $30 just to have their poster posted up there. And who knows, their poster might change 3 times between now and then. You have an account, you can save them that money, do them a favor, and get it. I did it for 3 people.
Yeah.
In the first week when they did it, I got 3 posters up there
Yeah.
for other people. And they all have, now their films look better. Their films look more credible because they look like a
They
real
have
film.
more street cred.
They have more street cred.
Oh.
Yes. There you go. Wow.
So
And I built up my street cred.
No,
I
you-
built up my cred because I did that for them.
no, you built up your favorite pool, your favorite pot.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. I built up my favorite pot. All right, my favorite pot. I built up my brownie points.
Exactly.
I did something good.
You got some brownie points. Essentially, you bring on your casting director, and your casting director is going to ask you, what are your dreams?
Taye Diggs.
Taye Diggs.
Elijah Wood and Taye Diggs in a romantic comedy.
And a buddy cop movie at the same time.
A romantic buddy cop movie. A romantic buddy cop comedy with Elijah Wood and Taye Diggs.
Excellent.
All right.
So now your casting agent's
The hell
job.
with that. Why the hell would I do that? I want Elijah Wood and Taye Diggs in a survival horror film.
Okay.
All right?
Survival horror film.
And we're
Gotcha.
shooting in Pennsylvania at a log cabin.
You have that all secured and contracted?
We're shooting at a log cabin in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, you don't have that contracted yet, so we're not going to tell them that.
Damn.
You're out of luck, bro.
Okay, but that's what I want.
You have pictures
This
of that
is
in
my-
your lookbook.
Yes, it's in my lookbook. That's what I want.
Okay.
There you go. Okay.
Great.
Taye Diggs and Elijah Wood in a survival horror in a cabin.
Right.
A romantic survival horror.
So now your casting agent is going to reach out, and they're going to do their damnedest to get Elijah Wood and Taye Diggs for you.
Uh-huh.
They are going to reach out to the agents that they know. They are going to get scripts. They're going to help you through this negotiation process. See that Elijah Wood's interested. You
He's
know,
probably not going to be though.
he might be.
Well, Elijah Wood might be. I don't think Taye Diggs.
That's why I didn't go with him.
Elijah
I went
Wood
with
would be. Elijah Wood might be interested. He does.
And
he
Elijah,
likes-
if you are interested in listening, call me. Call us. Send us an email at. No, just kidding. No, really, call me.
just her, not me. Don't bother with me.
I'm the producer. Don't talk to the artist first. Talk to me.
Thanks.
You're welcome. So now your casting agent is going to be working on this.
Okay,
Now,
so Elijah Wood is interested,
he's
but
interested.
Taye Diggs is not.
No, he's not.
All right, so there's our. Okay, we're there now. So what do we do about the Taye Diggs character now?
So now you're going to have to come up with another idea.
Well. Okay, based on the conversations we had that I've had with Pamela Kramer, who is also she's a casting director.
Right.
Okay, this is who let's say we've hired her. All right,
Right.
I've hired Pamela Kramer for my survival horror out in the Pennsylvania woods with Elijah Wood and Taye Diggs, and
Right.
she's reached out, and Elijah Wood is interested, but Taye Diggs is not.
Yeah.
He says, "Nope, not doing that. Not doing it. Not enough money, not a big enough budget, and I don't do survival horror." He does, but let's not. I'm not doing that.
No.
Okay. Now she's going to go out there and find the talent pool of people who match
Yes.
the skill set, the looks, the skill set, the age range, the demographic of
And
Taye Diggs.
Another possibility that may happen is that maybe Taye Diggs' agent was like, I don't know what's wrong with him. He's being so cranky lately. I swear to God, it's his new diet. But I have another client.
Yes. He might have someone else. Okay. All right.
Yeah, this is what these agents do. You know, they represent multiple people. So sometimes they'll have somebody else and they'll have a recommendation.
Okay.
And they'll throw somebody your way.
Gotcha.
Now, one thing to note, you are not getting these people into an audition.
No, they don't audition.
They do not audition.
Elijah Wood is not auditioning for your movie.
No.
He just doesn't have the time. Unless you're literally paying him a couple grand for that audition, he's got money to make somewhere else.
Right.
You know, and this is just a fact. It's not that he doesn't want to audition for your film, but he's making money somewhere else.
Yeah, if you're going to offend him by asking him to audition, then why is he going to work with you in the first place?
So
Okay, so now we have Elijah Wood. He's interested.
okay, he's interested.
And so what we're going to do now is we're going to work with our casting director and we're going to work with our lawyer.
All right.
And we're going to draft up
Letter of intent.
an offer letter.
An offer letter first. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Letter of intent is next.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right. So an offer. We're going to make an offer to Elijah Wood
Right.
for the film. We have a $500,000 budget. We're offering you. We can offer him one of two things: either a fee for the film or a back end percentage,
Or both.
or both.
Yes.
Okay. So we could offer him a lower fee by giving him a back-end percentage.
Yes. Now, the thing you have to realize is Elijah Wood, he knows what his name is worth, and he
Yes.
knows that his name is adding to this.
Yes.
So of those other people, the people who gave us our development funds, he's going to slide right in behind them.
Okay. So he's going to get paid alongside those people as well. Gotcha. All right. So now I have to convince investors that 3 people are being paid before them.
Yes.
Okay. This just got harder.
Yes.
All right. And that's if he gets percentage.
And that's if he gets percentage.
All right.
It doesn't have to be.
No.
But with a name that big, most likely.
He knows what his name is pulling.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's why these people in Hollywood, that's why they get paid so much. It's not because they're divas. It's because they know how much, they know the fact that this production
You're selling it
company
off their name.
is banking on their money.
Yep.
Okay. Robert Downey Jr. made the money on Iron Man because he knew him as Iron Man was going to sell that movie.
Yep.
He knew that $1 billion, 70% of it was just coming from the fact that he
His
was
name.
playing Iron Man again.
Yeah.
Wolverine, Hugh Jackman
Yeah.
gets paid what he gets paid because they know that people are coming to see him play Wolverine. Not just Wolverine,
Yeah.
but Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. So he gets $200 million, not because he's a diva,
Yeah.
but because that company is making $1 billion off of his name alone.
Yes. His name and
he
his
need-
likeness. That's what he's selling.
Exactly.
He's selling his name and his likeness.
Exactly. And if you were in his position and somebody else was making $1 million off of your name, you better damn well believe you want at least a third of that. You want at least that much. So don't think that they're being uppity about it. Like, oh, well, what do they need all that money for? They don't need all that money. It's a matter of pulling weight. It's a matter that's plain and simple. That's what it is. This company's making billions off of their name. They deserve to get part of it. Period.
Right. And so here's another thing that kind of came out in this talk, which I think kind of fits in what we're kind of talking about right now. And you're not going to get Elijah Wood for this, but a TV star or somebody who has some recognizable.
Matt LeBlanc.
Sure.
Matt LeBlanc.
Yeah, you may be able to talk him down to what's called Schedule F. It's a SAG-AFTRA Schedule F.
Which that?
It's a standard. There's different schedules, which is like a standard fee that they're going to make off your film.
Okay.
Schedule F is on the lower end, clearly because it's F. It's not A. $65,000 up front.
Okay. I think that's doable. Okay, that's doable. We could do that.
Yeah. So but I think that's the first time I've ever had a number thrown like
All
that.
right.
That's the first time I've ever heard it. So I thought it'd be important for our audience to know. So that's one thing that you're looking at. So, if you start to budget something, if you get it in your brain, so pretty much you're basing that budget in your lookbook, assuming that you get a fair number of them for Schedule F, which is $65,000 each.
Okay.
And that's up front. That's not after the movie's made. This is when they sign the contract, you send them a $65,000 check.
Wow. We haven't even shot anything with them yet, and they're just getting paid.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. So, but the big thing being is, okay, let's go back to our offer letter. Our offer letter, a lot of times managers, and we all know this clearly, managers do not want their clients to work on your indie film.
No.
They just don't.
Because they can get money somewhere else. They can get more money elsewhere, and the manager's making a commission.
Right. So they don't want their clients taken off the table for a month and a half it takes to shoot your film.
Yeah.
Where
they can go get their client $10 million at another film in 4 weeks.
Right.
Or $65,000 from you. That's not, no.
Because then, the manager, say he gets 10%, he's getting $6,500 versus if they could actually get something.
If they can get him $1 million contract, then he's making $100,000 off of that.
Yeah.
Versus $6,500. Trust me, that manager wants that $100,000 over your $6,500.
And they're willing to let their clients sit there and wait for the $100,000.
Yes. Yeah. Because it's worth waiting. For them and the client, it's worth waiting.
Yeah. So one of the things that I've heard on a number of different podcasts, one way of getting around this situation is by sending an offer letter. An offer letter a manager must present to their client.
Okay.
So an offer letter will go out.
No matter how low.
No matter how low.
No matter how low it's an offer, they have to give it to them?
They have to give it to them. They have to look at it.
Okay. Is that actually true?
That's what I've heard.
That's what I've heard. I don't know.
I don't know 100%, but I'm sure that they can sit on it.
They have a certain, I'm sure that they're.
Yeah, when you send out an offer letter, you send it out with a copy of your.
Depends how many other offer letters they have. If they've got 10 offer letters and 8 of them are for, $600,000 each, and there's 2 of them for $300,000, they're going to give them the $600,000 first.
They're going to go.
That'll go to the bottom of the pile.
It goes to the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, eventually they'll get it, but they're like, oh, look here, you got this offer, but you're shooting this already anyway, so
yeah.
They'll manipulate it.
Your offer letter goes out with a lookbook, a copy of the script, and a deadline.
All right.
So they have to
answer by a certain.
They have to answer by a certain time.
Mm-hmm. Now that manager will push that deadline.
Yes.
You will not hear from that manager till the day of the deadline.
Yes.
Don't think that because you gave them a deadline, we have to answer them right now. No, absolutely not. That manager is waiting to see every single offer that comes in down to the minute of when they need to answer you, because you may say, okay, we have a deadline of 3:00 on Monday. You are not hearing from them till 2:55, because they might get an offer at 2:54 for twice what yours is, shooting the same exact time, so that at 2:55 they can call you and say, no, they decided to do something else. Because if let's say they agree to you on Friday, then that Monday offer has to be turned down. That Monday offer for more money has to be turned down. They are going to wait till the very last minute to send you that back, unless you have some major street cred.
Yeah.
Unless you have some major credibility. When Warner Brothers calls somebody and say, hey, we got a $200 million movie, they're not waiting till the very end, because Warner Brothers can find somebody else.
Yeah.
And possibly for cheaper.
Yeah.
Because, hey, you want to work for Warner Brothers. You want to be in the next Warner Brothers movie. So as an indie filmmaker, understand they are going to wait till the very last minute.
Yeah, and they're going to make you feel horrible about yourself.
Oh, God. What did they do to her?
The horror stories that they put them through.
This came down to where she said where one of those moments where she felt, because she was a woman, this is how they treated her.
Yeah.
The agent actually hardballed her. Called her personally.
Yeah.
Went around to their casting manager.
Okay, because here's the thing we're going to highlight right now. Your agent, their agent, should be talking to your casting agent.
And that's it.
And your lawyer. They should not be talking to you. You are not part of negotiations. You are not trained to take part of negotiations. No. Pretend that that agent for that actor's agent, is a terrorist. You do not. You do not negotiate with them.
He's going to extort as much money out of you as possible.
And he is going to scare you, and he is going to make you feel small. And he is going to make you feel like a little turd. Yeah.
She didn't name the person. She didn't name anybody, but just say it sounds something like they went from a $65,000 down, $65,000 for the movie, to $500,000 for this actor.
No.
Was it?
No, I think they went up to about 120.
Oh no, it was $150,000.
Yeah, it was 150.
$150,000 for this actor, from 60 to 150. Okay. Now, remember, no, was it? Yeah, it was. No. It was higher than that. It was higher than that, because remember, I said it in the thing that I said to you secretly. What's his name? Mickey Rourke got paid $250,000 for Iron Man 2. That was his fee.
Yeah.
He was paid $250,000 for Iron Man 2 to be the villain in Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
This agent had brought his actor's
for
fee up to $250,000 for this indie film.
Yep.
So always keep that as your standard right there, that Mickey Rourke made $250,000 for Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
So understand that, realize that this is what Hollywood studios are paying somebody. You should not be paying anybody anywhere near that amount.
Right.
Never, ever should you be paying that.
Right. So,
And the agent's going to try to bring you up.
And the agent's going to bring you up. And what the agent's going to do, the agent's going to try and wrangle, and they may actually use you in this capacity.
Absolutely.
Is that they're going to get a competition, the bidding competition.
Yeah.
And so they're going to have two offers, and they're going to be going back and forth between the two, bouncing, bouncing, up and up
Trying
and up
to
and
get
up
two
and up.
different productions to bring this actor's fee up.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a good percentage that you just keep going, and then you'll still lose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely.
And once you lose, you feel like the credibility of your film goes down a little bit.
Yep.
And you're going to have to take a lesser actor. Mm-hmm. Now, the big important thing that they said, which I think is really important to let our audience know too, is you're not looking for the biggest actor.
No.
You're not looking for Tom Cruise. You're not looking for
never
Tay
getting
Diggs.
Tom Cruise. Unless you know Tom Cruise's babysitter, you're not getting Tom Cruise in your film. It's not going to happen.
No. What you want is the best and biggest actor for your audience and for your film.
And for your budget.
And for your budget.
Yes.
For your film. What's the genre? What are the fans? What are your demographic going to want?
So,
who are they going to know? Who are they going to recognize?
So making a survival horror, Taye Diggs is probably not going to sell my survival horror unless I'm in theaters across America.
Right.
That's the only way it's going to happen.
Right.
But indie horror fans are not going to care about Taye Diggs in my film.
No.
They're just not.
No.
Elijah Wood will do it because he could sell it.
Yeah, he could sell it.
He could totally sell it.
Especially if he's going to be the villain. He's going to be some crazy psychotic villain.
Sin City. Every indie horror fan saw Sin City and said he was amazing. And they loved him in that.
Yep.
And they loved him in Maniac.
Yep.
You know?
And the other one that
in Cooties, he was in Cooties. He does indie horror. So he might actually be
worthwhile.
Daniel Radcliffe is another one.
Yeah.
Great. These are big Hollywood actors, but they do indie films because they appreciate it.
Yeah.
So understand who your audience is and go for those actors. Elijah Wood may totally be out of your budget, but try. He might see
You're not going to lose anything trying. We're really not.
But you got to get the script to him, and that's what the problem is.
Yes.
That's where it's hard, and this is where your development funds come in to pay your casting manager, your casting director, to get it to him.
Yes.
And if that means, unfortunately, you or your casting director has to fly to a party somewhere where you know Elijah Wood is going to be there. Yeah, you know he's going to be at a party somewhere because, you know, his film, a new film he's in is premiering. You know he's going to be at the after party. You or that casting manager may need to fly across the country to be at that damn party. To pay the $300 dinner fee to walk in and that flight fee to get over there so that
and the
you
black
can physically
cocktail dress to fit the
so that you can physically be at that party to usurp around Elijah Wood's manager and get directly in front of him and hand him that script so he can see it, read it, and say, I like this. And then what does he do? He calls his manager and says, hey, I just got handed this script and I really like it. Talk to them.
Or the other thing that can happen, which is what they did, their casting agent knew of a way to reach the actor.
Yes.
Went around the agent, spoke to the actor and told them the offer letter's on the way.
Yes.
So then they picked up the phone and they said, why haven't I seen this offer letter?
Yep. Because now they're upset that now they feel that their manager is hiding stuff from them, even though they're not.
Right.
You just have to be just as shady as that manager.
And that knocks their manager down a little bit.
Yep. And now they're not going to listen.
Yeah. Now they're interested. Now they want to work on this, and now they're a little upset with them.
And the manager's keeping them from working on this project that they're interested in. Like, whoa, wait a minute.
What are you doing?
I pay you to tell them to give me.
No. Just take this. I'm fine with that. We don't need to push them up. I want to work on this.
Yeah.
That's how you keep your budget low.
Yes, that's how you do it. You got to find a way to get to that actor.
Yes. So then once you get to this point and what you're striving to get is a letter of intent. You don't sign the offer letter until the money is there.
What's a letter of intent?
A letter of intent is essentially, it's not, you cannot publicly say anything. You can only have it on inside conversations. You can talk to your investors, you can talk to your creative team, and you can tell them that this person.
This isn't going on Facebook.
This is not going on Facebook.
It's not going on my website.
It's not going on your website.
I can't put it on my newsletter.
No.
Son of a bitch.
You can barely even call your mom and tell her.
Oh, jeez. Mom wants to know everything, though.
Well, mom's going to tell her her beautician and her hairdresser.
Post it on Facebook, and that's it. I lost my whole movie.
You lost your whole movie. So essentially, your letter of intent is them saying, yes, I intend to be in this movie.
If you get the budget.
If you get this budget.
So Elijah Wood is now saying, all right, I'm willing to do your movie for $100,000. $100,000 fee for me to do your movie, or whatever my deal is. Let's say it's $100,000 flat fee for the movie. Yep. Fine. If you can get your budget of $500,000, I'll do your movie for $100,000.
Yes.
And but you have to get that money first.
Yes.
By a certain time. I see. So you have 6 months to get this money and get the movie rolling.
Yes.
If you don't have it, so it's what is it, May right now? So basically, Elijah,
if you don't have it by November.
If you don't have this money by November, I can't do your film.
Yes.
All right.
We have to renegotiate this letter of intent. It could be another thing.
So there's a renegotiation possible.
It's possible. It's possible.
Okay. All right. So that's possible.
Depending on how much they want this movie and if they're and what kind of work comes in for them.
Okay.
It's a long shot.
It's a long shot,
but it's a shot.
But you can now tell your investors that Elijah Wood is interested,
Yes.
and all he needs is the money, and we can get this rolling.
Yes. So that's what you do.
All right, cool.
As soon as you get this letter of intent and you hit the ground running and you contact every person with money that you can possibly think of, and I got Elijah Wood in my movie.
And you scream to the heavens inside a room with closed windows and locked doors.
Yes.
I got Elijah Wood who's going to be in the movie if you can give me the money.
Yes.
Just make sure those windows are closed and there's no recording devices. Cell phones are dumped in water outside.
Yeah. Everybody has to go into a clean room with a full scan, full body scan.
All right. Okay, so we got Elijah Wood who's interested in our film for $100,000, and the casting agent is still looking for another replacement of Taye Diggs. Mm-hmm. Okay, what's the next step?
Well, we're going to talk to our investors about Elijah Wood, and we're going to get on this casting agent. They need ASAP to figure out who this Taye Diggs character is going to be.
All right. Okay.
So essentially what we want is a character that can still add more.
All right.
We want more. We're greedy. We want another really good name. Throw out another good name.
Another good name?
Yeah.
Next to Elijah. How as big as Elijah Wood?
No, it doesn't have to be as big, but it has to be somebody who's good for the film.
A.J. Bowen.
Okay, let's go find A.J. Bowen.
All right, A.J. Bowen.
Right, so then the casting agent starts pursuing him. Mm-hmm. And now, meanwhile, you're talking up your agents, you're putting all your things into place, you're getting your cast, your crew. Anybody who's above the line is who you're pretty much securing. You're also trying to find your location, so you're hiring location managers.
Oh, Jesus. Fuck, I'm hiring a lot of people here. And this is all coming out of my development fund. Damn, this stuff is expensive.
Yep.
All right. Now I understand why I need development funds.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So now we've been at this, say, 6 months, 8 months.
6 months already?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
This could take a really long time.
6 months.
Like I said, these two lovely ladies.
So what you're saying is that this doesn't happen overnight.
No, this does not happen overnight.
And that's why there's so many development funds. That's why I'm talking $50,000.
That's why you're getting $50,000.
Because this is going to take a long time. This isn't going to happen. All right. Okay. All right. Continue. And of course, this is all because this is all after you spent a year and a half perfecting the script and doing and creating your storyboards and creating your schedule for the film itself and all of your shot lists and all this stuff is done already. Mm-hmm. So before we even did this, we spent a year and a half, 2 years just prepping to get to this point.
Yes.
That's what was free.
Yeah.
That stuff was free.
Yeah.
Because I just did that on my computer at home.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And the way that this is all...
Oh, my God.
Yeah, the way this is all set up is your development funds will get you through the negotiations. They'll get you through securing certain things, and then once you get the money, you hit the ground running and you go into development. Go into production as soon as you possibly can. Okay. So the day that you have the money is the day that you start signing offer letters. You start paying off your actors. Mm-hmm. That money goes down. You pay your locations. You pay your people. You pay this, pay that. Then you go into production as quickly as possible.
Okay. So basically, once we get the money, we want to be filming within a month?
A month.
Wow. So we need to get the money by November in order to secure Elijah Wood. Let's say we get it down at the very last minute. All right, it's November 13th and his deal was November 14th. November 13th, I call Elijah Wood. We got the money.
We're good to go.
We better be shooting by Christmas.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. So now that also means that over this next 6 months, like you said, all of my locations have to be secured and know that we're shooting in December. Mm-hmm. And all of our actors have to know that we're shooting in December. My DP and my sound guy, all my crew needs to know we are shooting in December.
Yep.
What happens if I don't get the money by November?
Then you have to make that really hard, terrible phone call.
Well, the first call is to Elijah Wood.
Yeah.
All right. We're not going to get the money by November 14th.
Yeah. You're going to have to request to push the dates.
An extension.
Yeah, extension.
Okay.
And nobody wants to make this phone call. Nobody wants to hear this phone call, but this phone call happens all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And that agent, and even as they said, that agent will make you feel like you are the worst person in the world for canceling this. But the truth is that agent gets calls like this every single day.
Which is why they're probably miserable people.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they're miserable people. They're just used to it.
Well, that's why they're mean people.
They're negotiable. They're negotiating people. This is what they're doing. They're doing this because they know that out of all the all the offers their actor is going to get, again, maybe 10% of those offers are actually going to go somewhere. So they are just negotiating all day, every day for their multitude of actors that they represent.
Right.
And this is all that they do. They hang up the phone from you telling you that you told them, oh, well, we got to push it forward. An hour later, they're getting a phone call from another project for another one of their actors that this is being pushed forward again.
Yep.
And this is just what they deal with all day long. So you have to understand that this is who you're working with, you know, and this is why you do not want to be in the middle of those negotiations.
No, which is why you bring your lawyer on very first thing. You get those development funds. First thing you do is bring on your lawyer. The second thing you do is bring on your casting agent.
Because they deal with this stuff every single day. So they know how to talk to that agent.
Yes.
So as this woman said, which I think is very, very important to understand, that actor's agent went right around and started calling her at home. Yeah. Calling her cell phone. Yeah. She said there were days where she was literally at the supermarket and this agent getting phone calls from this agent trying to push up the offer because, oh, he's got an offer over here. But, you know, we need, you know, can you bring it up to here? Can you bring, and that's how we got to this $250,000 for this actor, from $60,000 to $250,000 because this agent kept calling her. Right. Straight. Right. And she's over here thinking, my movie's going to fall apart. If I don't get this actor, my movie's going to fall apart and this isn't going to happen. I need him. Anything he needs, I'm willing to give it to him. Yep. Just fine. If that's what he needs to do it, then fine. And then a week later, she gets another call. Oh, God, yeah. And this agent is playing the role of, he really likes the movie, and the truth is, there's probably a chance the actor hasn't even been handed the script yet. Yeah. They're still negotiating. Yeah. Understand that this actor probably doesn't even know this offer exists.
They'd even said that you do not see this actor. You do not talk to this actor. No, you will never, ever. Until the movie until the money is had.
They worked out a deal where they FaceTimed with the actor. He was on
chemistry test.
Yes, a chemistry test. The actor wanted a chemistry test. Yeah. And ended up not even being part of the film. Didn't even do the chemistry test. Never got to that point. But before that, they worked out a deal with that. Okay, well, we want to talk to him personally. We want to talk to him directly. We're going to meet him.
This is the kind of thing that your casting agent's going to bring in.
Yes.
When they start pushing that price up and up and up, and they're going to be like, wait, can we do some sort of chemistry test?
Yes, we need something.
Yeah, we need something. We need to make sure that he's right for the... Yeah, if we're going to increase his rate this high, we need to see it. We need to test the waters.
So it went from them meeting him somewhere to an hour-long phone call that turned into like a 15-minute phone call. Yeah, 15-minute FaceTime. Yeah, while he was on set at another film. Yeah, on the other side of the country. Yeah, you know, and that's what they ended up having to do for 15 minutes. And he was great and it was perfect. And he said, the actor said, I want to do a chemistry test with this actress. So this actor, as much as he probably wanted to do the film and he was interested in it, he's playing a part too. Yeah. And his part is to get this director to keep him on the film. Mm-hmm. So by simply saying, hey, I want to do a chemistry test with this actress. If we're going to play romantic interest, then I need to make sure that we're... And then as the director, as this artistic person, you're like, oh my God,
he likes it. He likes it.
He likes it. And he really wants to do it.
He likes my movie.
He wants to make this as best as possible. So he wants to make sure that everything's going to work out between him and this actress. And it's great. But he's also playing a part. Yep. And his part is get hired. Yep. This is a job interview. On top of artistic thing, this is still a job interview for him. So he needs to tell the boss what the boss wants to hear to get him hired. Yep. And they went through all this negotiation and they brought the rate up and blah, 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 and all this stuff for 9 months. And then he didn't do it anyway. Yep. And then in the end, when it came down to that last minute, the agent called, said, no, we got another offer. He went somewhere else. And they never heard from this actor ever again. Nope. There was no courtesy phone call saying, hey, I'm sorry, it didn't work out. Maybe we can work in the future. Because the truth is, he probably didn't really want it. It was just another job for him. Yep. It was just another job. Understand that these actors are working multiple jobs, multiple sets, multiple scripts. And as much as they may like yours, 2 months from now, another one's going to come along that they like just as much.
If not better.
If not better. You know, and that's not a personal thing. It's just, this is their job.
Yeah. And that's what they're charging you for.
Yes.
It's also, it's their name, their likeness, but it's also, well, I may miss an opportunity.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. They're turning down 5 other offers to do yours. Yeah. You need to give them a reason to turn down those other offers. Yep. plain and simple. It's a job interview.
Yeah.
When you're looking for a job, you want $65,000 a year. If somebody's offering you 65, somebody else is offering you 70. What do? You go back to that 65,000 and say, "Hey, can you make it 75?" Because this is still a job.
Yep. So that's pretty much.
I think we're good on that.
Yeah. No, I just think I just wanted to wrap it up with what you learned and what I learned.
Development funds.
Development funds.
That's really what we covered in this.
Yeah.
I think that was the one thing that we learned most out of all of this. Development funds.
And the process where
how to use them.
How do you actually negotiate? How do you, what is the letter of intent? I think that was an important thing. What is the actual negotiation process like?
Yep.
And I think that's the biggest thing to understand. I mean, I guess I understood it on some level, was the street credit concept.
Yeah.
But it really, understanding that you use development funds to build the credibility of the movie before you ask for the money.
Okay.
I think that's the big key that I was missing when it came to development funds.
Yeah, that we need money to get the money.
Yes.
And that's the thing that's going to separate you from, that's what's going to separate you, not separate you, but move you from one level to the next.
Yeah.
Is understanding how to spend your money before you even have to spend money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's the separation.
And I think that's the other thing. We all sit here and we're like, I'm going to crowdfund $100,000, $300,000. And it's like, you're right. Don't do that.
No,
Get your
don't.
development funds through a crowd fund. Be able to secure the people that you need. Be able to hire that team that will get you the best possible.
The only problem with that, which is the obvious problem, is I'm crowdfunding development funds. I'm not crowdfunding the movie.
What perks am I giving out?
Exactly. How do I convince a crowd of people to give me money to develop a film?
Right.
That's hard as hell. If you know how to if you can do it, then I say do that. I think that's a great idea. It's if we can figure out how to do it.
Right.
I think it's a wonderful idea. Because then people get their perks off of whatever, and there's no money to pay back.
Yeah.
So it doesn't actually come out of your budget. There's nobody to pay back right up front. Your movie gets you basically, these people who were part of that crowdfunding literally got the movie made.
Yes.
They literally got you to the point of getting this film made, of getting Elijah Wood in your film and AJ Bowen and getting those investors. They made you, and because now you're talking about street cred. Mm-hmm. I just got $50,000 in a crowdfunding to develop the film.
Yes.
How's that for street cred?
Yeah.
That looks amazing on you. Mm-hmm. People believe in you so much, they're willing to pay
just to have you develop.
Just to have you get to the point of making a film.
Yeah.
Just to give you money to help you find more money.
Yeah.
That's street cred.
Yeah.
That says miles.
That goes leaps and boundaries.
Leaps and bounds for a producer.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing. You have a following. You're talented. You're everything. You are what they want.
Yes.
That's if you can find out how to do that, God bless you.
Yes.
God bless you, because the investors will leap at that.
Yeah.
You can get money literally for free.
And you're going to investors without anybody up front.
Yes, and exactly. There's nobody that has to be paid back up front.
No.
Nobody's got to be paid back. They love it.
So that's the other thing I wanted to bring up.
You're coming in with $50,000 to start this movie off, and nobody else has to be paid back? Oh, beautiful. I love it. You have skin in the game too.
Yeah. Here's the other interesting thing.
Yeah.
Which I forgot to mention, but it's real quick. When you get these development funds, say you get your development funds up and going, and you have investors that agreed to do the roll into the production.
Okay.
Say Lionsgate happens to get wind of your movie.
All right.
And they want to buy it. Mm-hmm. They don't want you to make it. Mm. They just want to buy it.
Okay. They like my script.
They like your script, and they want to buy it.
Okay.
Now, say you're going to sell your script for $500,000. Mm-hmm. You got 20% that you have to pay back. You're now negotiating for that.
Wait. I'm sorry. What? 20%? Where did that 20% come from?
The people who rolled into your production. The fact that you have an agreement.
Those development funds,
the development funds. The people who agreed, the investors that agreed.
Oh, so we're back to that now.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
I was still on the crowdfunder. So.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. It reminded like something just hopped into my head. And I thought it was.
So we have two investors who gave us back to the beginning, $25,000 from two investors.
Yep.
Now Lionsgate wants to buy my film for how much?
Say $500,000.
Okay, cool. All right.
I thought I could do this math very quickly, but I can't.
50,000, 500,000. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So essentially, when they want to buy it from you, what you're going to do is you're going to throw out your $500,000, but you're going to add 20% because their agreement with you is that they were rolling into the production. So you get them that 20%. So not only do you give them, not only do you give them back their money, you give them $100,000.
You give them the extra money back.
Yes,
too.
you give them that. You use that 20% goes into your negotiations.
Goes back to the original investors.
Yes, to go back to
now
the
they
original.
get paid back, and you don't even have to make a movie.
Yep.
And you found a way to pay them back.
Yep. So when you want to make another movie, guess who may give you development funds?
Guess who's giving you money right off the bat? Yep. Those are the first people you go to because not only did you pay them back, you paid them back plus interest.
Yep.
And the other movie got bought by Lionsgate.
Yep.
Whether Lionsgate makes the movie or not, it doesn't matter. You just sold a script for $500,000 to Lionsgate,
Yep.
and you paid back your initial investors plus money.
Plus.
That money that they took that they're going to go now. All right, well, they had all that money. They're probably going to go invest it in the stock market and make even more money off of it. You're a sure bet.
Yep.
You know another movie? You call me. You call me.
You call me.
You call me if you need money for another film. I'm down with you.
So what do we say about building relationships on earlier episodes? That's a very important relationship that you just built.
Yep, that's incredibly important. So, all right, that'll do it. We're done. We're done. Development funds. That's.
So I hope none of you got too scared away by it, but I think it was very.
But this is something you worry about when you're getting to the next level.
Yeah.
If you're honestly, you're making a $50,000 movie, $20,000 movie, you don't need development funds.
No.
Because again, you're going to be doing this all your friends. You don't need development funds. You need favors.
Yes.
You need favors. You need friends.
Yes.
That's what you need, and those are your development funds. Favors.
Yep.
And pay your people back. Work with them. Give them something in advance. Give them something in return.
Yeah.
You know.
Edit an actor's reel. Tell your friend who's editing his movie and struggling to come on by for a couple hours and take a look at
whatever
it.
your day job is. If it's some sort of service, offer that to people. I'll check your boiler. I'll install a new boiler for you. You're buying a new house boiler. I know how to install that. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Just
Bro, if you ever move, I'll help you move.
I got a van. I got a van, and you don't even have to give me pizza.
I'll bring the pizza.
I'll bring the pizza. There you go.
And the van.
Anything. That's it. Oh, that hot friend of mine, I'll hook you up. Let's go, buddy.
My girlfriend's friend?
Yes.
You got it.
There you go. The girlfriend's friend agreement. So, all right, everybody. I hope you learned something about development funds and stepping up to the next level.
So yeah, definitely
check out these ladies' podcasts.
Yeah, check out their work. I mean, it is I think currently on Hulu.
One of them is on Netflix.
Is on Netflix, and I think
what's her name?
Sarah Wharton.
Sarah Wharton's film is the name of
This Is Us, or This Is Just Us.
This Is Us.
Something.
Oh God, you don't have it written down?
I was not professional.
Oh God. So Sarah Wharton's film is on Netflix. It is an LGBT movie as well. Mm-hmm. It is an LGBT romantic film. From what I understand, there's a shower scene in it or something that people were talking about or something.
What?
I don't know. Somebody mentioned something about a shower scene.
That's Not Us. That's Not Us is the name of it.
Okay, That's Not Us. It's on Netflix, and the other lady is
Naomi McDougall Jones.
Naomi McDougall Jones.
She's the one with the podcast, which is once again Fearful Less. FEAR parentheses
full
FUL
full
not full FUL.
Oh, FUL full FUL
parentheses LESS.
Fearful Less. That is her podcast. And from what you can tell, it seems like they talk more financials and numbers and, things like that. I haven't listened to it yet. It's only been a week. I had other things to catch up on. But yeah, he said a lot of numbers, a lot of accounting type things, a lot of the business aspect of filmmaking.
And her movie is Imagine I'm Beautiful.
Okay. All right. So check those out. Is that on Netflix?
I believe so.
Possible. All right. And that was the $80,000 film.
Yes.
And Sarah Wharton has her $10,000 film on Netflix as well. So people, it is possible.
It is possible.
It is possible to get your $10,000 movie on Netflix. It is totally possible.
Yep.
So don't let anybody tell you it's not. It is possible. You just have to put the time, the effort, the talent, the work in. And it really sounds like both of these women have put in the time and the work.
Yes.
They've put it in and it's paid off for them. So
And it was absolutely amazing that they were willing to open up,
impart 3 hours worth of knowledge.
impart 3 hours worth of knowledge to a bunch of women.
And 3 guys.
And 3 guys.
3 guys who they apologized to us multiple times. They're like, I'm sorry, men, but I got to talk to the ladies here for a moment.
And I guess one
I
thing
have to admit, I did feel that me and the other guy, he was skinnier. One of the other guys, he was way skinnier than me. So I felt like they would eat him first.
Yeah.
As the women were piling in, I felt like my wife had brought me here to be torn
You were
apart.
horrible.
Yes.
You were horrible.
I felt like I was lunch.
Okay, that's it.
All right. That's it for Filmmaking Sucks. We're going to call it that for this week. We've been rambling for a while. So
Excuse our soapboxes.
once again, we'll be at the Severed Short Film Night in Stroudsburg, PA at the Sherman Theater on May 27th. And then on May 28th, we will be at the First Contact Film Festival in Lake Hapatcong, New Jersey at Camp Jefferson for First Contact Film Festival. Theta States is screening at 2:40. We will be there all day long, though. I think doors open at 10. Come on down. It's $10 for the day. You can go to the festival all weekend. $15 for the weekend. $10 for Sunday. Come on down. Hang out with us. See Theta States, where we've been winning awards all over the place. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you, everybody, for listening. This is Filmmaking Sucks. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, or whatever podcatching app of your choice. Rate us, review us, email us at filmmakingsucks@gmail.com if you have any questions, concerns, problems with what we said, or just suggestions for a future episode. Thanks a lot, everybody.
And if you're a female filmmaker, just say hi.
Just say hi.
Just say hi.
Hello. Just say hello. Email us. That's it. Get on out there, everybody, especially if you're a woman. Thank you for listening, and make good films.
And hire women.